Hey, what's up, guys? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 23rd. It's November. It's 2020. And I just sheared off 3 bolts of my rear axle, which sucks, but she's still rolling, so there's that. But I just met up with a bunch of guys that are fairly aware, fairly awake, I thought. And yet, COVID comes up because COVID is everything. The reason COVID came up is I mentioned that several months ago I ordered a part for my truck to prevent what happened today from happening. I paid for it. I have dealt with this person before. They live in Saudi Arabia and Dubai. They can get Toyota parts that we can't get anymore. So, long story short, I order the rear hub for my truck. He takes my money, blah, blah, blah. And then a couple days later, my money gets returned. And he says, due to COVID restrictions, we're not allowed to ship to the United States. So the topic of COVID comes up. Ooh, Richie got a sunburn, look at that. And I didn't drink enough water. And because I didn't drink enough water, my body is holding on to salt, causing me to swell up. It sucks. Drink so much water, you're peeing every 10 minutes. Aren't you glad you know that? Drink water even if it's not hot. Okay. So the topic of COVID comes up, and I completely and totally lose my shit. I'm like, it's not even real. Look around. Deaths everywhere. Everyone I know is dead. I'm being sarcastic, and the guy at the counter that I have a pretty good rapport with says, well, I know several people that died, and somebody I know just recently, their 87-year-old grandmother just got really sick and died. And I'm like, dude, look up the CARES Act that our Congress passed. The United States government passed the CARES Act, which pays MDs, medical doctors, and other health physicians $30,000 to label any death COVID. That on its own should explain everything. The governments of the world are forcing their citizens to lock in, to go under house arrest, to dress a certain way, to restrict themselves, to destroy businesses, everything else. And yet the governments passed a law where they're paying doctors to lie about what people died from to help them to continue to force people to do things, to lock them in their houses, to restrict their movements, to instill curfews, etc., etc. How do people not hear that? It's a pandemic. Okay, so why would anybody have to pay anybody to claim people are dying from this pandemic? A pandemic means there's so many people dead that we can't even handle it. We can't even deal with it. It's a pandemic. I'll be 53 in like 5 days or 4 days or 3 days, really soon. And I've never seen such a thing. I've seen them priming the well over the years. And the last pandemic they tried to foist on everybody was the measles. Oh, the measles is going to kill everybody. This is astonishing to me. As long as people do not bother to do one crumb of research, and when they find out that their great aunt died and got labeled with COVID, that's enough for them. This is a pandemic that has destroyed the economy of the United States, that has decimated the dollar. The dollar is gone. They're just holding it up right now until they're ready to actually drop the entire bag of bullshit on everybody. And that's coming very, 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 very soon. Which is why we're seeing the general that will be in charge of that's in charge of Operation Warp Speed telling us that American troops will be on the ground, fully armed for war, so that roving bands of wild Americans don't attack the military to steal the COVID vaccine so they can vaccinate themselves. Americans don't want to get the vaccine anyway. But still, the military is going to come. Wait till you see the military rolling on the streets, because by then it'll be way past too late. Do you see what I'm saying? This is absolutely mind-boggling, astonishing, astounding, unbelievable, unthinkable, unfathomable to me that this continues to march forward. And OMG, is it coming? Darkest winter? It's a coming. They're getting all their ducks in the row. They're going on 60 Minutes. They're going on national TV, priming America for the military on the street. You know, I'm going to leave a link below to Patriot Pantry because they are shipping it just like he said they would, fairly expeditiously. And I'm going to leave a link to Amazon below. Think about what it's going to be like at your house with no electricity for extended periods of time. What would you need? Candles, water filters, blankets, things like that. Think about having no gasoline, no oil, no electricity. Because that's what they're going to do. Because that's what we do to every country that we come over and spread democracy. The thing that blows me away about this whole COVID thing, remember I just said I was out, but here I am again, at any rate. The thing that blows me away about Americans is we just utterly destroyed Iraq for 13 years. We lost Americans. We lost trillions of dollars, and we killed over 1 million people in Iraq because a bunch of our politicians and authorities said Iraq had something to do with 9/11. And then they quietly said, yeah, we were wrong about that. Well, of course you are. Of course you are. Of course you are. Of course you were. They lied. They lied to go to every war. Every time politicians could figure out a trick to make everyone think that we should all put on our military gear, fly to someplace else, blow it up, burn it, and kill other people, it's always been a lie in which they gained monetarily and in power. That's exactly what COVID is. If you still think we're living under a pandemic, you're an idiot. Stop watching my channel. I've already shown you every doctor I can, every author I can, every government white paper that I can. And as a matter of fact, before this happened, almost 3 full months, I told you they were going to do this. I'm out. You know, and one of the other guys mentioned, yeah, it's not Democrats, it's not Republicans. It's us against them. They have dumbed down, they have hijacked the military, they have put all their people in places of power to convince, cajole, and otherwise trick everybody that we would consider the good guys. We are the good guys. And from what I'm seeing, there just ain't a lot of us. Because when the shooting starts, if you don't know who to shoot at, you're useless. You see what I'm saying? Unbelievable. At any rate, here comes a sheriff. I'm out.